Out with my cousin, guys. Check it out. We have to do the transformation. I have to show you guys the before and after picture. I'm gonna put it up there. I think maybe tomorrow, after tomorrow, we're gonna do a live and we're gonna train. You guys could see what we're doing. But before we start, guys, make sure to subscribe, to hit the bell, as well as if you want to learn more self-defense, go visit my program at Drossos.com. I have brand new exclusive videos, the Hero Program, Women's Self-Defense, as well as my instructor course next year. I already have 6 people registered. I'm only taking 6 more. So guys, go check that out at Drossos.com. As well, I'm going to be starting some live training, some online live group training, focusing on certain knife defense, multiple attackers. So again, go check that out at Drossos.com. Now I'm teaching my cousin a little bit of self-defense. And what I'm teaching him right now are 5 strikes. It's a common question I get, okay? Now he's injured. What's your what? Your shoulder?
Well, my neck, this whole area.
Yeah, the whole area. And so I'm going to show you and teach him very quickly, without getting too much into it, 5 what I believe are the 5 first initial strikes using gross motor skills, right? That means nothing that requires so much amount of precision or training. Yes, you could train it and develop it, but the idea for you in a high stress situation is that you're able to perform these strikes without needing years of training, right? And it's not about learning more, it's about learning less and training more. So the first thing is a palm strike, okay? So palm strike, you're hitting with the palm. You're not slapping. So if I'm doing this, that's a slap. When I'm palming, I'm striking, I turn and I hit with this part, right? Underneath the jawline, into the face. If I hook, boom. So I'm doing, you guys see when I'm hitting with the palm and the forearm. So when I'm striking, boom, I'm going into the jaw, or if I could, even better is to hit right behind the head. So when I'm palming, boom, even if he flinches and he moves back, I'm still gonna hit something. Driving it from the hip. So Perry, give me a couple of palm strikes.
Right. So this hand up, obviously.
Yeah, the hand's up to protect you.
But which leg do I lead with? So
good point.
With my right.
Which leg do you lead with, right? So if you're a righty, it's your left leg forward, right? Because this is my strong side. So I always tell people when they're confused, what hand you right with? Okay, you're right. Okay, so you're a righty, left leg forward, or vice versa, okay?
And you use your right hip to twist into.
Yeah, so what's really important is, in terms of power, I drive it in with the hip. So wherever the body goes, I want to make sure I put my body into it. So when I'm here, I'm pivoting. So if I'm here, and I'm going through the target. The trick, Perry, is when you're going to hit, I want you to aim. You see where the ropes are?
Yeah.
Imagine you want to touch the ropes when you're striking. Okay, let's go. 1, 2. See that? That was good. 1, boom, through
but I'm hitting up here.
Yeah, so, boom, boom, that's it. Pivot. Nice. See, what's really good what he's doing right now, he's actually going through the target. Now go 1, 2.
Okay.
Yeah. So start with this one.
Start with it.
Oh, nice. Beautiful. So the reason why you're hitting open hand, less chances of busting your knuckles. Perry, what happened when you fought the cement wall? He punched the cement wall, he broke his knuckles. Right? So that's a palm strike. A second strike I love is the hammer fist. So when you're hitting with the hammer fist, right, you're hitting with this part. But I'm also engaging my forearm. So when I'm striking, I'm not just doing this, I'm coming in with my whole forearm and I'm going through the target. I'm aiming this way. I'm not doing here.
Where are you aiming for? The nose or the jaw?
So what you're aiming is for the bridge of the nose. So come over here, Barry. So I'm aiming here to the bridge of the nose, but my whole forearm is coming into it, that even if you flinch or move, I'm going to strike with here to here. Obviously, I'm going with this part into the bridge of the nose and following with my whole body. Now, the important part is if you're striking, you're not doing this. I was training somebody yesterday and he's doing this. The idea is the hand leaves, boom, straight, boom, right inside, okay? Good. Now start. Before you strike, never make a fist. I'm here. If I'm talking to him, and as the weapon leaves, boom, last second, it closes and it strikes.
Am I coming at a straight angle or at a side angle?
So, good question. You want to be least amount telegraphic. So if I'm doing this, I'm not going around. Always think straight line. Right? So you want to avoid moving back, flinching back. If I do it, he's going to flinch. Go through the target and go straight. Ready? Go. Boom. Nice. Now don't bring it all the way there.
Straight in.
Through the target and back. Boom.
Right.
Boom. Relax the hand. Relax the hand. And then boom. Good. So the good thing about the bob dummy, you could work on your tool and target and really aim for the bridge of the nose.
He's too tall.
You want to avoid doing this. I'm going boom, boom. I'm boom here, because then I could follow with whatever else I want. Okay? The next strike that I love are elbows. Elbows are awesome, especially in close quarter range.
This I suck.
So you can elbow up, around, under, over, underneath, back, inside. I train those elbows like crazy. Most fights happen in close quarter range, yeah.
So obviously there's a height differential. I wouldn't technically go for an elbow right now because it's really out of my range.
So
right?
this is probably the most common question. Now look what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put the guy up here, right? So you might say, Nick, he's too high. Am I gonna elbow him? No, right in the throat. I'm gonna elbow him right in here, even if I hit the neck.
So it doesn't matter where
No.
you're aiming really.
Boom. If I connect in here, into the throat, into the neck. Now if he's that tall, boom, I can go right into the middle, into the solar plex as well. Okay? Most fights happen in close quarter range, and that's why if I'm here, Perry, come here. If I'm here and I'm talking to him, boom, through the middle, bam, around. Nothing moves. I'm not moving back, straight. Weapon leaves, body follows, okay?
It just seems, because I'm not good at elbows, right?
Yeah.
At all, so it just seems unnatural to me to elbow. So
So-
I don't think it
so
would be
keep
a
it up.
go-to strike for me.
Keep it up, start like this. If you've never elbowed, start like this. Just start slow. Boom. Boom.
Yeah, because I'm gonna miss the target
Boom.
half of the time right now.
Boom. That over, so grab me by the shirt. If he was here, I would elbow, boom, coming down. Here, through the middle, bam, and around. Right? If grab me by the hand like this, grab me here. If he was here, like grab me by one hand, with one hand only. So if he was here, this is when I would elbow straight up. Now that center line elbow, you can't stop that, and there's so much power behind it. Okay? So Perry, just work on your elbows.
So I'll
Slowly.
start, right? So
Boom, that's it. Now, to start the drill, put your hand on his chest. Come a little bit closer. Start from there. Boom, good. So just go really even slower than that. Wire the mechanics into it. Good. Now go with the other arm. Nice. Now, very common mistake I see when people elbow, okay? So when people elbow, they do this. And Perry's did it, they do this.
yeah.
Every time you elbow, think, my elbow wants to hit here. So what happens? As it leaves, it closes and it follows with the body, right? So I'm going, boom, right? It's followed by my hip and my core.
So you're kinda twisting in.
So I'm going, boom, boom, I'm hitting with
Yeah, because
my,
I feel I'm hitting more with my forearm.
that's it. So when you hit, you want to hit and follow through with the whole body.
So I'm twisting. I'm twisting.
You're
right?
twisting, yeah, but you don't want to over twist. You want to make sure that you're hitting through the target.
Okay, so boom,
That's it.
boom.
Good. Go in more. Boom. That's it. So watch my elbow. When I'm elbowing, boom. I'm not just here. I want to go in with the whole forearm into the head. That if he flinches or moves, I'm still going through it.
I'm gonna go a bit lower because it'll be easier. See, for me, elbows is very unnatural. I
Yeah.
don't feel comfortable.
So if it's unnatural, then the rest is just it's all about training
Yeah.
and repetition, guys. This is
I've gotten into fights in my life where it's haymakers, you know? It's never been like technique. And an elbow for me, I've never thrown one in my life.
yeah. So if you've never done them, again, I mean, the best way to do them is start with doing it on the bag, and then we could do some drills where we're doing in close quarter, do some pads as well. So another great strike is a throat strike, right? So you're hitting that way,
This one I like.
right? That way, or another one that I like is you're hitting like this. Come here, boom, right? So as I strike, I'm here. Watch. As I'm here, I go, boom, and I strike right inside.
You're just pushing.
Just pushing, you feel it, right? So I train it on the bob dummy like this. Now, believe it or not, there's a lot of power in that because I'm driving my hip and I'm going right inside low, bam, and I'm popping it, okay?
Are you fully extending the fingers? Because
No, they're a little bit curved,
Right.
right? I'm going to reach in here. So as I strike, boom, I go right into the throat, okay?
Alright, this one feels. I
So
like this.
So train this one, but then look at this one. The good thing about this one, right? This one's here, it's straight. Boom, I can't miss it. Boom, and I hook. Boom, you can see,
Yeah.
like just.
Just putting
A
the
little
fingers
bit.
down like that too.
So if I'm here and I'm talking to the guy and I go, boom, right in here, one shot. But again, I condition my fingers. I do push-ups on my fingers. I do the drills where I hit my fingers on the walls. So I do this just to strengthen this over here, that when I strike into the eyes or into the throat, or if I grab hair or neck, I'm actually grabbing very hard. The next one, and last one, is the eye gouge, right? Where I'm using the fingers,
Or I call it the Ric Flair.
and it's
Yeah.
just, as the hands leave, boom, I go into here.
So you're punching into the
So
eye.
I'm not just hitting the eyes, I'm punching, and this was when I used to do Kung Fu, right? Same thing as the tiger claw, right? I'm going, boom, I'm going into the eyes, but I'm also, at the same time, I'm like palm striking, and at the same time, I'm not just flicking the eyes. I want to like jam my fingers in there if I can get them. And the reason why I open all my hand, because whatever I strike, if he flinches, I might get a pinky, I might get a thumb. I'm basically banking on whatever I can get. So if I'm here, boom, I'm gonna go. Now, if he's wearing glasses, right, obviously I'll go for the throat, but even if I hit into the eyes, his glasses are still gonna move, I'm gonna get some reaction, okay? So those are 5 strikes that I like, that are really basic. The rest is just training it over and over again. Again, guys, for the people who train with me and follow me, I don't teach that many strikes. I'd rather teach you a maximum of 10 strikes
That you do well.
that you do super well, because I don't need a flying back kick. I don't need a back spinning kick. I don't need 20 strikes and 13 blocks. I'd rather train, 5 to 10 strikes and bank on those hammer fists, on those elbows, striking the throat, eye gouging. And they're basic, they're gross motor skills. My cousin doesn't have any martial arts training, but with a little bit of training, he's gonna be able to do these strikes. And sometimes just being able to be here and you're talking to the guy, you go boom, and you hammer fist him in the nose or in the face.
Yeah, because I realize as much as you think you're strong, if you don't know how to throw a good clean shot,
Yeah.
it's pointless.
Yeah, because you might be big, and I've sparred with guys who are big, but they didn't know how to use their body behind the shot. So if you know how to torque your body properly, put your weight, transfer your weight, you're gonna be able to generate a lot more force and power.
And I find the more muscle guys, they're more overconfident because of the size of their muscles. But you see them when you fight, you're just seeing wild haymakers coming from like the windmill, you know?
And I worked in clubs for years, and I know when I used to see these big guys, look, weight is a factor, size is a factor, but it's not the only one, right? A smaller guy against a bigger guy, and I was always a smaller guy, I had to rely on my footwork, on my speed, on my timing, on other skills that I had to train, as well as my conditioning, right? So, we both train, and more than ever, my cousin, we've been training since we're 16 years old. My conditioning has been very different. It's more combat, more fight and style oriented.
Yeah, me, it was more powerlifting when I was younger, bodybuilding, stuff like that, right? So
Yes.
I have no technique
So
whatsoever.
now I'm training my cousin, but I'm also incorporating some of the fighting combat training to develop all those twisting, lifting, pushing, moving, being able to generate power in movement.
Which, by the way, if you've never done, you're gonna hear cricks and cracks you've never heard before.
Yeah, like I mean, we're doing a lot of twisting, a lot of punching, a lot of lifting and moving to be able to get your core engaged and know and be able to synchronize all your body to be able to be explosive and generate power quickly in movement, and that's the hard thing to do.
Yeah, like when I train on the bob, because it's moving when you hit it, I don't have coordination. If you put me on a heavy bag, not so bad. You know, it's a little easier because it's not budging. But when this starts moving and I have to like go at it, you know, like you see already, like I start slipping, you know,
Yeah.
I start losing the target and stuff.
But that's why working on the bob dummy, guys, is good comparing to the bag. So when you're working on the bob dummy, I could train to just work. Boom, 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 boom. I could strike, work the throat, palm, hit, boom, go into the eyes, trap, knee, headbutt. I can get to work my strikes and work some tool and target. Obviously, there's other drills I do as well, but I mean, this is probably one of my favorite investments in terms of training. If you can train, if you don't have a training partner. The second one, guys, conditioning. Even if you tell me you don't have a gym, go outside, do burpees, do squats, do lunges, find a bar, do some chin-ups, some dips.
Hang from your balcony, do some chin-ups.
I mean, like old school guys, you don't need expensive, like even in my gym, I don't have, well, now I have a big machine in the back, but most of the time I've been working with kettlebells, TRX, weights and bands, more functional training. That's what you need for fighting. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Go visit my website, nickdrossos.com. I have a complete brand new self-defense videos. Actually, let me answer some of these questions here. Oh my God, we got a lot of questions. We have 50. Most realistic instructor defense. Thank you, Mando. It's Defendo. I engage in modified version of MMA, particular self-defense purpose on a regular basis. I train really hard for me. Cool, man.
Best cousin ever? Yeah, that's right.
Awesome. How long you been doing MMA? Ask my cousin. I was doing Kung Fu when I was a kid living in Park X.
Yeah, I remember going to his apartment when he used to live with his parents and he used to try the moves on me.
What else do we have here? Let's see what else we have. Ground bad. Khabib takes both these guys. Khabib, yeah, I hope he takes both these guys. That's what he that's what he does for a living. That's a pretty stupid comment, which I'm not gonna get offended by because obviously I know what you're trying to say. You want to do that, you can step outside and do an Sotogari, or you can rush in close after time. First reduce impact. Oh wait, done how much karate? Fake, ha ha ha. Okay. I don't know what part of fake is. I don't know. Is an elbow fake? Is a palm strike fake? I mean, guys, sometimes you just leave like.
I'm actually a real unskilled fighter.
Thanks, Kareem. Don't know how to punch fist and reduce. You're fake. I'm fake. I'm fake. Okay, Jaden. All right, man. We got you. See my comment. Okay. Jaden, come on. Be polite. Man, there's no point, guys. There's always haters, man. It's all good. Man, you know what I mean? There's a lot of people who are insecure for some reason.
So even a guy who doesn't know how to fight is a fake.
Yeah, it's like
I don't know how.
it's pretty. Hey man, just stop and chill. I'm looking forward to getting a bob. Christopher, it's the best investment.
I want to get one from my house too, actually.
Is top deck. Yeah, keep it. I think ankle. I think an ankle pick would be good for self-defense. I don't know what an ankle pick is. Do you have class in Montreal, Gabe? No, I don't. I only do privates. Yes, I do privates, but not the group classes. Twist of Fate, McDojo. So no, I'm a McDojo. Be polite.
Was that the same guy, Jaden?
Yeah, Jaden.
I like Jaden. Jaden, I'll take you out for a burger. We'll talk.
Why is this recommendation list? But I'm not complaining. Watch it. All right, bro. Thank you. You're so lucky to be training with that Bob Excel. Yeah, it's a little bit expensive, guys, but it's worth it. Ignore the mean comments, Nick. Throat strike ain't no joke. You know what, guys? I want to talk a little bit about these haters. All these negative comments don't do anything to me, guys. It's simple. If you're taking the energy to watch me and shit on me, it's your wasted time, not mine. right? So
Thanks for the clicks.
yeah, thanks for the, I'm 43 years old, guys. I'm gonna be 44. I'm at a level in my life that I'm confident with myself. So what you say doesn't trigger anything. You don't like me, don't watch me. You think I'm fake and shit? Great. You have the right to your opinion. Guess what? I'm not even offended by that. So, I mean, I don't care anymore. And you get to a place that you're confident enough. I just came back from Boston. I was training the defensive tactics instructors, right? So, I mean, I'll take their word over, you know, somebody who's watching my videos telling me it's fake. It's bullshit. What part? The elbow's fake? What part? The palm strike's fake? But that's the thing, guys. So, I mean, thanks for watching, man. Keep commenting. Rich hand is good for the throat. Reach behind. About rich hand technique. Self-defense, get a gun. Yeah, get a gun and go to prison. I mean...
Well, tell them, you know, when you were doing the knife defense, they were trying to pull out the gun. And
yeah,
they got stabbed like 10 times.
Guys, when we were doing knife defense in close quarter...
With the cops.
Right? We were 3 feet away, 6 feet away. A knife and a gun in that range, let me tell you, I got to the gun before the gun could come out. And even when it did, I managed to stab and slash and attack. No, this is not a pre-recorded live. You're young, Nick. Yeah. Well, I'm getting old, guys. Again, everything is relative, right? I'm 44 years old. My cousin's 43. 42.
Come on.
So we're training. We're still in it. So you know, for 40-year-old, not bad, guys. Not bad, right? So here's the thing. If you're gonna learn something, learn it from somebody who's done it. So when we're, you know, maybe we're gonna do more lives and talk about training, because we've done it all. We've been doing this since we're kids.
My cousin, obviously I know his life. We grew up together in the same city. We grew up sleeping at each other's houses. And I've known his life and his trajectory. And I've seen him fight. I've seen him in bar fights. I've seen him at his job. And as much as there's bigger bouncers out there, when he lost it, he lost it. Yeah. The things you see at the top where he's raking his face, that's like the Tasmanian devil, like on somebody's head.
And you had to, because I was smaller, you had to go like even more ape shit, right?
Well,
the more fear. Here's the thing about fear. I fought better when I was afraid, because when you fight with fear, you know that it's not a drill.
There's no ego involved.
There's no, yeah, you're like, holy shit, my life's in danger. I'm gonna do whatever it takes.
See, I don't know how to fight, right? And I was overconfident because even back then I was a lot bigger, stronger, and everything. I was always overconfident. I had no technique. And let me tell you, I've gotten a couple of shots across the head. I deserved them.
But you never went down.
No, that's one thing I always had. And I always found it weird that I would get some pretty heavy shots, and for some reason, the more it hurt, the more I laughed. I think I had issues when I was growing up.
You could take, you know, it's important too, right? To be able to take a shot. To be able
Actually, I was talking to my doctor because people who follow us here sometimes, I've talking about my depression and antidepressants, right? And antidepressants, actually, when you've been on them for a long time, you don't feel pain as much, believe it or not. It's a real thing.
I wouldn't be surprised.
So a lot of times things would happen to me and it wouldn't hurt as much as people would expect. I remember when I broke my hand from punching the wall.
Yeah.
The doctor was like, "Aren't you in pain?" I'm like, "I'm okay." And it was like literally this inflated my hand.
So it's true. It definitely could be.
Well, the nerve endings become numb from all the anxiety medication and antidepressants and all that shit.
Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're out to get you. Good call, kid. I didn't fight because the person had a knife, and I'm a child, and that's why.
Good, man. If you have to walk, if you can run away, he's always taught that run away.
Yeah,
don't
fight. Don't fight. Palm strikes to the nose, knee to the solar plex. Stomp the groin, re-stomp the groin, and Conor McGregor walk into the sunset. Again, guys, keep it simple, right? Look, here's the thing with martial arts, and I spent years doing a kung fu, and that's probably what I did the most, is that we kept learning, we kept doing. But I realized at one point, a lot of the stuff I was learning, I couldn't apply, right? And instead of practicing what I needed to become really good at, I kept learning new stuff. And that's what I did with what I'm teaching right now. I'm not about teaching more, I'm about teaching less and training it over and over again.
Listen, guys, at the end of the day, a guy like me is not going to come here at 42 years old and become a martial arts expert, right?
Yeah,
but
that's true.
If I can catch some confidence on how I'm going to hit, even that little bit of confidence might change the outcome of a confrontation on the street with me. Whereas if I was going to get hurt, then I'm not going to get hurt as much. Right? I'm not going to throw a roundhouse kick and do a Van Damme kick or do the splits between two chairs, you know? But that's not realistic.
But you see, a lot of the clients I'm training right now are between 35, mostly are 40 to 60, 65. They don't want to walk into an MMA cage. They don't want to go fight. They want to learn basic self-defense. And what is that?
If I'm walking with my daughter and somebody attacks, I want to feel that I know how to hit it. At least, you know, that's it.
You know, and it's about, like, I mean, in terms of what I teach, I talk about awareness, about how to diffuse, how to de-escalate, how to read body language, how to set up a strike, how to escape, how to use an improvised weapon. This is prior to everything on the fight starting. And then, once you cover those and you know how to maximize your offense and defense without having to go physical, then when necessary, you know, knowing a little something is better than knowing nothing.
Look, if I get into a confrontation and I apply one of the techniques he shows me, how to punch or something, if I see the guy's down, I'm not going to stay. I'm out.
Absolutely.
Bye.
I mean, I've seen it in clubs, guys. I've seen it in clubs, and we used to. We have a story with, remember?
Yeah.
We had a story, and I don't know.
When the guy pulled out a gun, yeah, well, the guy wasn't us. Some guy in our group pulled out a gun.
So we hung around a friend of a friend, and he was a little bit crazy, and he pulled out a gun, and he started shooting. No.
In the air.
He shot in the air, and somehow the gun fell, and I think one of my friends picked it up. I don't know why. He panicked, or he gave it to him. And my cousin was witness that it wasn't his gun, and a big long story. And my cousin had to almost go to court, and I mean,
I remember the cops put us all against the wall.
Yeah, true story, guys. We're up against the wall. We're all being frisked. I mean, it's crazy shit that, I mean, you know.
Our point is, like, you never know. Plus,
you never know.
You walk away. If you can walk away.
And that fight, guys, I remember it, and I'm going to talk about it in my book.
Was that the dance floor? No, it was like people bumping into each other.
No, it was outside. And it was something stupid like
that.
It
started like that.
Yeah, and when they got outside, the two guys who got into the fight, I knew both of them, and he pulled out a gun and he put it to the guy's head. And the other guy knew, because I knew both of them, they were more of acquaintance, looked at him and said, pull the trigger. Pull the trigger. The guy went fucking blank, grabbed the gun, beat the shit out of him, and that's when the big fight happened. Yeah. So I always tell people, if you don't know how to use a weapon, don't carry it. If you're gonna pull it out, make sure you're ready to use it. If you're not, you're shoot, because you don't know who you're dealing with in the street, and that's the most dangerous part.
And now you've given him a reason to actually kill you.
Kill you, absolutely. Think about it. If you pulled out a gun, you pulled out a knife, right? And
he has every right to kill you now, and he won't go to jail.
And you threaten, no, he still does.
Does he?
Yeah, if he disarms you, so let's say I disarm the attacker and I have the weapon, but you're still attacking me, then because I'm in the position of power.
But even if he pulled the gun in front of your life.
Even if he pulled, if I disarm you and shoot you.
See, this stuff is important. You don't want to end up in jail.
Yeah, there's a whole legal issue, and that's the other thing. Some people tell me, "Oh, Nick, I'm just gonna pull out a gun. I'm gonna shoot him." It's not that easy. You know what I mean? You can't look at self-defense that way. And I try to teach that. Try to teach all the elements of self-defense, everything that happens before, during, and after the fight as well.
You see, because of Jaden, we got into a whole other. Thank you. You made that.
See, Jaden, where are you, Jaden?
You made it more interesting for us. You see, even negative could be a positive.
Jiu-jitsu train against blacks is entitled different issue. Bruce Lee's philosophy was use longest weapon to the closest target. Absolutely, guys. Closest weapon to closest target. When the punch throat beats taser. True, Nick. One simple technique beats at least. Absolutely, guys. And that's what I'm trying to teach. I don't want to teach that much stuff because I know at the end, you don't need that much.
No, I don't want that much. I don't want to throw a kick and then go home and ice my groin because I kicked too high.
Like, let's be realistic, right? Like, and my cousin's the best example. He's learning self-defense now, and I'm starting to teach him. I got to teach him stuff that his body could do, right? And I want to teach it simple that he could learn something today, right now, and when he walks out, he could apply it if he needed to, right? I don't want it to be, okay, you're only going to learn how to throw an elbow, but it's going to take you 3 months.
Yeah, look, he's teaching me elbow, but I realize not for me. So I'm going to use another technique that he teaches, you know, like that I feel more comfortable with.
Absolutely.
And I'm not there to impress the guy with my strikes.
And
One strike and I'm out.
And that's the thing too. You got to look at what works for you. I always tell people, create a system within your system based on you.
Yeah.
Right? Your strengths and weaknesses. What are they? You might like, you might like throwing kicks, or you might be better in close quarter. You might have a jiu-jitsu base. Well, let's take that jiu-jitsu and incorporate some self-defense into it.
Same principle like in weight training. I teach you an exercise, weight training, but you do a little variation and it works better for you. The angle of your arms, and same thing with this. What works for you might not work for the other person.
Absolutely.
Like my body is not very coordinated, so like I gotta keep it simple.
But you see, his body's not coordinated because my cousin did mostly weights. He never did the strength training.
Yeah, no.
Back then, you could ask my cousin, people used to make fun of me. I used to train with like on the ball and do stuff, stabilizers. Back then, people used to laugh at me when I used to go to the gym because they were not used to this type of training. They weren't used to functional training. But all that functional training was for me to develop and wire and program my body and my brain together, that when I'm throwing a punch or a strike, that with certain exercises, my body would naturally be able to follow through. If you're taken to the ground, I only start fights if the attacker attacks me first. It's just some words. So here's my rule of thumb. You avoid and you diffuse the fight under all costs. However, and this is my rule of thumb, the moment you make physical contact, the moment you're going to grab me, shove me, the instant you've touched me, or I think you're going, because when we did knife defense, one of the most dangerous parts of knife defense was when the person grabs you and they start attacking with a knife. When they grab and they start stabbing. And one of the drills that I've developed, and the most important one, is never allow the person to grab you, because when they grab you, they're trying to grab you so they can get leverage, especially a taller guy against a smaller guy. So I train to make sure that his hands do not come near anywhere where he can grab me. So the moment the person is going, go grab me, so let's say he's doing this, right away I know the instant his hand's coming to grab, my goal is to block and counter or strike the moment I see him. Definitely the instant he grabs me, so grab me, the instant he actually grabs me, that's right away I strike as quickly as possible. So that is my rule of thumb, right? I remember working at the club. If you were 10 feet away and you told me you're a cocksucker, you're this, you're that, I didn't care. But the instant you came into my face, you came into my range, I could see you're trying to calculate to close the distance. You're pacing, you're moving, you're flinching. I can't see your hands. You're trying to move around to get an angle. I knew the fight was on and I was getting prepared to strike immediately. The instant you moved a certain way, I was already in a position here, here, here. My hands were already up and I was ready to strike. I was already programmed to move in, not move back, but explode forward and take him out as quickly as possible.
I gotta go.
All right, guys. My cousin's got to go. We have a lot of people in the live today, so I'm just going to keep on going this. Bruce was the father of MMA. Absolutely, man. He did put a lot of stuff together. Absolutely. I feel like I'm a big opponent to uppercut. When I throw even a jab, it's timing, right? With an uppercut, with jabbing, how to avoid that. Wait, let me see. Okay. I feel like I'm big opponent to uppercut when I even throw a jab. All right, guys. Actually, guys, I gotta let you guys go now. My battery's actually dying. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Respect from Greeks. Thank you, my man. Guys, go visit my website, nickdrossos.com. I'll put the link in the comment box. I want to thank you for watching. Stay safe and stand strong, guys.